Sister Sajdah Muhammad. We are proud to announce that the Sajdah House commemorative Elijah coins are finally here. As we renovate and restore the former home of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have recycled the old copper gutters and downspouts and created a 1-ounce 39mm coin made of 100% pure copper. Each coin is professionally graded and has its own barcode and registration number. This priceless heirloom, made from recycled copper from the messenger's home, is now available at sajdahhouse.com.
You belong to yourself. You're an independent people, created from the nation of free people.
Yes, sir.
You don't need to go nowhere but to yourself.
Yes,
So
sir.
the challenge is an education that enlivens us to do business. Business is the activity of life itself. Every creature is born with the inherent ability to attract out of this material earth what it needs to perpetuate its species.
Welcome everyone. Assalamu alaikum, or peace be unto you. Ramadan Mubarak. Welcome to the MOEToday, or the Mind of an Entrepreneur Today series on manifestation, based upon the book written by Charles F. Hannell called The Master Key System. This series is an extension of my brand, The Mind of an Entrepreneur Today, or MOEToday for short. I developed this series back in 2011 and made it a part of my weekly radio broadcast. It became the foundation for the second half of the Mind of an Entrepreneur book. And so instead of publishing it as a book, I decided to recreate the series. So the Mind of an Entrepreneur brand of products and services explore mental strategies and offer free game on how to navigate the world of business. I offer a unique approach to business that combines traditional disciplines with consciousness. I'm an international businesswoman, an industry disruptor, a global thought leader, philanthropist, and master business and real estate developer. And I'm striving to become a god and a powerful manifester. So thank you for being here this evening. I'm excited to take this journey with you. You all may know this. My goal is to help marginalized people around the world gain access to tools and strategies that will help us to become stronger, healthier, happier, wealthier, and to experience more love. I'm working to build a model using mental strategies that will help make doing for self infectious. I'm all about encouraging the creation of millionaire and billionaire conscious entrepreneurs who profit with a purpose, solve problems, and introduce much needed goods and services into our community. So welcome to the show. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Be sure to give a review, especially if you like the channel. How is everyone? Ramadan Mubarak. I know that it can be a struggle, fasting. So not even water during the day, during daylight hours. And I know some of y'all are real hangry. You know, I was really tired yesterday, but today I felt really good and really energized. I wanted to play a video that a friend of mine sent me that may be some encouragement to you all. Check this out.
Kyrie, on a personal note, you have said that you are fasting for Ramadan, which, for those who are unaware, means no food, no water from sun up to sundown. How do you muster the energy to go out and score 34 points with very little nutrition in your body?
Well, it's a journey with God, and I'm not alone in this. I have brothers and sisters all around the world that are fasting with me, We hold our prayers and our meditations very sacred. And when you come out here, I mean, God's inside me, God's inside you, God's inside all of us. So I'm walking with faith, and that's all that matters. And when I get a chance to do this in this type of arena and showcase my talents that have been granted to me strictly from God, I'm humbled.
He's not letting me score 34 to must win. I'll tell you that. Congratulations, Kyrie.
Thanks, brother.
How encouraging is that? This brother is doing Ramadan. He's practicing Ramadan, and he's playing in the NBA, scoring mega points. And we around here hangry and tired. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's make this a blessed Ramadan. I hope you all are setting your intentions as well. So anyway, just a little fun to encourage you. I want to start right in. This is part 13 of our manifestation series. I see you all in the chat. Welcome. Wa alaikum salam, Ramadan Kareem. Brother Lamont says, I'm eating. Thanks, Brother Lamont, for making that announcement, because it's still light over here in Chicago, so we cannot eat. Cynthia M, wa alaikum salam. Welcome. Make sure you all like and subscribe to the page. So I wanted to start with this. Our beloved mother Tynetta taught me years ago that revelation meets you where you are. Type that in the chat. Revelation meets you where you are. This is why when you pick up the Holy Quran, it seems to speak to you. Or every time you read Revelation, it feels differently and impacts you differently. It just depends on where you are. And we discussed in previous shows how we interpret Revelation as entrepreneurs and how important it is to reach for us to reach for our goals that require revelation in order to complete those goals, like getting out over your skis, so to speak, so that you're striving to complete a project or reach a goal brings you closer to God himself. I'm talking about moving beyond your intellectual capacity. Revelation is a frequency level that is even more fertile than the frequency of love, because the frequency of love is a component of the spirit of revelation. But I will admit that I didn't understand what she meant. And I'll tell you a little later the question that I asked her and what made her respond like that, or what that was answering. Many of you are working on projects. You have businesses. You went through something during the pandemic. Many of us experience pauses and delays in our business or progress. We seem to plateau or have moments of acceleration, or moments even where the inspiration slows down. This is very common for many of us in business. I was reading this book I'm working on called The Secrets of Divine Love. I mentioned it last week. And the author stated that it can be said that the silence or space between revelations was part of the revelation. I'm going to say that again. It can be said that the silence or space between revelations is part of the revelation, because without that silence, we would not be able to integrate the message fully. Just as the space between words gives meaning to a sentence, or the silence between notes creates a rhythm, God is telling us that even in the silence, or even in the slowdown, his mercy is presence. When Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was asked why the Quran did not reveal all at once, the Quran replies by saying, so that we may strengthen your heart. That's Surah 25 and 32. It goes on to say that just as climbers must take time to acclimate to the increasing altitude or higher peaks, or scuba divers must equalize to the increasing water pressure as they descend deeper into the ocean depths, the human heart requires time to integrate revelation before delving deeper into the message. You see, revelation meets you where you are. So don't fret over a delay or a slowdown. It's all part of the process. Pray and know that Allah is ever present. Acknowledge his presence. Thank him during those times that seem slower than others. It's all part of the rhythm of the revelation, just like a beautiful song. So I wanted to give that as our starting point as we move into this part. We're not going to be long today because y'all not the only ones on the East Coast that's ready to have something to drink. But type this in the chat. Revelation meets us where we are. We're going to start right in on the questions. We're at question 121. And the question is, what is the method by which natural philosophers obtain and apply their knowledge? And the answer is to observe individual facts carefully, patiently, accurately, with all the instruments and resources at their command before venturing upon a statement of general laws. Let me say this, I didn't mention, but we're doing sort of like a manifestation companion book club with the Master Key System, written by Charles F. Hannell. So we're on part 13, and that was question number 121. I'll read it again. What is the method by which natural philosophers obtain and apply their knowledge? And the answer is to observe individual facts carefully, patiently, accurately, with all the instruments and resources at their command before venturing upon a statement of general laws. You know, this I found to be very, very interesting. It's important that we look for a law in everything. And going back to what I stated about the rhythm of revelation and the space between words and notes that create a rhythm, that's what happens with the progress of our projects and our business. They have a rhythm, and the revelation is meeting us where we are. And this particular question speaks about the method of applying knowledge and the observance of individual facts, the careful observance of individual facts, patience, accuracy, and using all the instruments and resources at your command before you make a statement. And I wanted to bring that up because I know I went through a thing for most of my life where I was incredibly sensitive. I'm still super, super sensitive. But as a child, I just didn't know how to deal with it. And as I grew older, I hated the fact that I was so sensitive. And so I tried very hard not to be sensitive. But what I realized when I started to really study emotional intelligence was that my sensitivity was a gift. And I realized that sometimes I could sit down at the table and hear things that other people couldn't hear, see things that other people didn't see, things that they would miss, attention to detail. And so I started to then transform my authentic sensitivity into a skill set that I believe helps me to this day as I move and develop in the world of business and real estate. So I encourage you to take a trait that you may have, and it may actually be something that you don't like about yourself, and transform that into a business skill set that sets you apart from the rest of the world. So question 122 says, how may we be certain that this method is correct? And the answer is by not permitting a tyrannical prejudice to neglect or mutilate unwelcome facts. That's where our emotional intelligence comes in, because we become tyrannical when the ego takes over. We can't make correct decisions. We can't reason. We can't think straight when our ego is out of order and when our emotional intelligence or our EQ is low. And you can go back and check out past episodes of the show where we talk about the components of emotional intelligence and how to raise our EQ. That leads us to question 123. What classes of facts are esteemed most highly? And that answer is those which cannot be accounted for by the unusual or the usual daily observance of life. This goes back to when I talk about how we should create goals that in just the striving for that goal it gets us closer to Allah. So trying to just get to that goal, we got to go to Allah and cling on to him and be so connected to him that we come out on the other end closer to him than ever. That's getting out over your skis. That's moving beyond your intellectual capacity. That's understanding that revelation meets you where you are. Now, question 124 says this: upon what is this principle founded? And the principle to the application of all this knowledge is reason and experience. Let me talk about that a little bit. Excuse me. My throat is dry and I can't get any water, so y'all got to bear with me. Learning to reason is very important. You can memorize and take in a lot of knowledge, but what about applying that knowledge? There are lots of smart people out here who are unable to execute. Smart people who can't manifest. People who really lack basic execution skills and are challenged to even be in business or to even do for self. In order to do for self, you must understand and work on the skill of execution. And remember, doing for self is not only just owning a business. Doing for self is doing for yourself. See, because even if you're working for a company, you have to see yourself as like a little corporation. Even if you're working for a nonprofit organization, your church, a newspaper, whatever it is, you have to make sure that you see yourself as a business. When I was going to high school, I saw myself as a little corporation. I was a little CEO, and everything that I did, from my homework to cheerleading practice to organizations that I was in, every award I got, like National Honor Society, anything that I did, pageants, all that kind of stuff was part of my corporate mindset. In order to do for self, you must understand and work on the skill of execution. I don't care what you're doing. If you say, hey, I'm going to do for self, I need to lose some weight. Well, you got to know how to execute that desire. The ability to reason has a fundamental impact on your ability to learn from new information and experiences, because reasoning skills determine how people comprehend, evaluate, and accept claims and arguments. Reason and experience are the principles upon which the application of knowledge rests. So let's go back to that original question. What is the method by which natural philosophers obtain and apply their knowledge? And the answer is to observe individual facts. So by observing individual facts carefully, careful observance of individual facts, patience, accuracy, okay? Before you make a statement, before you create a law, before you create a rule that stays in your head, you want to carefully review the facts. You want to patiently review the facts. You want to accurately review the facts. Okay, now let's discuss the importance of experience. See, because without the knowledge you gain from experience, you would be completely clueless about certain aspects of life. You wouldn't understand what goes into making a successful business or why people behave in a certain way. Instead, they would seem like an enigma. And you all hear me talk about how I've had such an incredible life in the world of business, and Allah has blessed me tremendously because since I was a teenager, He's been giving me experience in business. See, experience allows you to build relationships. Also, experience teaches you how to deal with different types of people. As you gain experience, you will learn how to handle different personalities, some of which may be difficult to please. You'll also learn how to negotiate and compromise, which can come in handy when working with a team. Experience gives you knowledge and insight into things such as human nature, history, math concepts, scientific theories. This kind of knowledge will help give you an edge when it comes to navigating the world of business. This is why getting out of your comfort zone and letting go of your safety net is so very important, because your comfort zone or your safety net gives you the illusion of success, but it is not success at all. In fact, it limits your ability to execute or manifest or make things happen. You'll talk a good game. You'll think a good game, but you won't be able to play the game. In fact, you won't even be in the game. So question 125 says, what does it destroy? So what does this application of knowledge in the manner that we've explained destroy? It destroys superstition, and it destroys precedent conventionality. And I would add here that this method of applying knowledge will increase your certainty. See, I've had experiences, some good and some not so good, that produce lots of lessons. And the byproduct of what I gain from many of those lessons is certainty. Type in the chat the word certainty. See, certainty about specific facts or situations is important, or certainty about what I want, or certainty about what I don't want, or even certainty about what I'm actually good at. Certainty is the epistemic property of beliefs which a person has no rational grounds for doubting. Your experience that creates certainty will remove doubt. The Holy Quran, Surah 2, verses 2 and 3 says, "This book, there is no doubt in it, is a guide to those who keep their duty, who believe in the unseen and keep up prayer and spend out of what we have given them." But that surah begins, "I, Allah, am the best knower." So that statement is saying, have no doubt, be not doubtful. So the concept of doubt is removed. Have no doubt in Allah. Have no uncertainty. Go beyond your intellectual capacity. Take not your intellect to be a God besides Allah. Push beyond your intellect so that you can continue to experience revelation as it meets you where you are. And as you elevate, it will continue to meet you. If we descend into the pit of hell, we will find Allah there with us too, ready to take us up out of there if we are of those who submit. The revelation will meet you where you are. Type that in the chat. Revelation meets you where you are. If you're in a crack house, revelation can meet you there if you call upon it. If you're in a mansion or on a yacht, revelation will meet you there too. If you're staring death in the face and circling the drain, revelation will meet you there too. If you're in pain, if you're in love, revelation will meet you there. Revelation meets you where you are. No matter what stage you are in with your business, revelation will meet you where you are. Staffing issues, inventory problems, theft, risks, shipping problems, money problems. Look for God everywhere. Revelation will meet you where you are. Question number 126. How have these laws been discovered? And the author answers by a generalization of facts that which are uncommon, rare, strange, and form the exception. Let's go a little deeper into that. Y'all all right? How may we account for much of the strange and unexplainable phenomena which is constantly taking place? By the creative power of thought. We started this series off in part number 1. We gave quotes and we talked about the power of thought. Thoughts are spiritual energy. Let's put that in the chat. Thoughts are spiritual energy. Why is this so? Says question number 128. And the answer is because when we learn of a fact, we can be sure that it is the result of a certain definite cause, and that this cause will operate with invariable precision. Again, I think it might have been part 3 or 4 where we talked about understanding cause and effect. Because what's so common in our world today, We see something happen and we start to chase the cause. We start going, I got to stop that to happen. I got to stop this leak. Well, what's causing the leak? See, you want to go to the cause. Stop worshiping the effect. The effect is there's water all over the ground. And so you make a big deal out of that. You get on the phone and you tell everybody about how much water was on the ground when really you forget to say, let me go explore where this leak in my ceiling is coming from. Learn to go to the cause. That's the world we live in. The media and all that, they're just constantly talking about the cause over again. This happened, that happened. But what caused it? I'm sorry, they're constantly talking about the effect. But what caused it? This happened, this happened. Here's the effect. The effect of what? So question 129 says, what is the result of this knowledge? And the answer is, it will explain the cause of every possible condition, whether physical, mental, or spiritually. So that's what we're talking about. When you take the knowledge that you have and you apply it the way that we discussed at the beginning of this talk, you lay that knowledge over the effect, it will help you explain the cause. And you won't be caught up on a hamster wheel talking about the effect over and over and over again. You hear people say, I'm just not happy. I don't like this relationship I'm in. I just can't do it anymore. Okay, what is the cause and what are you going to do about it? That's the answer. Are you going to just continue to allow the effect to fester and become a disease and ultimately kill you? Or are you going to try to figure out what's causing it? That's what I'm trying to get at. So question number 30 says, how will our best interest be conserved? And the answer is by a recognition of the fact that a knowledge of the creative nature of thought puts us in touch with infinite power. Then the book goes on to say we can best conserve our interest by recognizing the infinite power and infinite wisdom of the universal mind, and in this way become a channel whereby the infinite can bring about the realization of our desire. So here, you guys hear me talk about all the time how I pray to Allah to allow me to be a conduit of Him, of His wisdom. And so this is talking about how you become that channel or that conduit, and you allow, they call it here the universal mind, but we're calling it Allah or God, and you allow God, right, to bring about the realization of our desires. This means that recognition brings about realization. Therefore, here's the exercise for this week. Here's the homework. I told y'all I wasn't going to keep y'all long today because I'm thirsty and I'm a little loopy because I haven't really been eating enough, but I'm gonna do better tonight. Anyway, recognition brings about realization. And so here's our exercise this week. Make use of the principle. Recognize the fact that you are a part of the whole. You are a part of the whole, and that a part must be the same in kind and quality as the whole. The only difference there can be, or possibly be, is by a small degree. When this tremendous fact begins to permeate your consciousness, when you really come into a realization of the fact that you, not your body, but the ego, the I, the spirit, which thinks is an integral part of the great whole, that it is the same in substance and quality and kind, that the Creator could create nothing different from Himself. You will also be able to say, the Father and I are one. And you will come into an understanding of the beauty, the grandeur, the transcendental opportunities which have been placed at your disposal. So thank you for allowing me to share what I learned and used with you. When I asked Mother Tynetta many years ago, how is it that you can pick up the Holy Quran and turn to any page and it seems like it speaks to you? And she responded so matter-of-factly by saying, revelation meets you where you are. It took me years to figure that out, Mother, and understand what you really, really were saying to me. So the idea here today is for us to really practice understanding and knowing that we and Allah are one. We are part of a whole. And the other part of that is that revelation meets us where we are. So what does that mean? We want to look for Allah everywhere and in everything and understand that he's always there, just like we talked about in the talk today. So as entrepreneurs, as we're building our businesses, as we're moving forward, understand that as we're moving towards our goal, and if we've set goals that are high enough, that it's requiring us to get closer to Allah in order to complete those goals, then we have to just continue to go dig deeper into ourselves, go deeper into ourselves. Look for who we are. Look for that extra quality. Look for that thing about ourselves that we threw away, that thing about ourselves that we don't like. Find Allah in everything that we do. And we will soon be able to realize that he's right there. So we have to first recognize his power. We have to first understand that his power is there. We have to desire that his power helps us. And we can't take our intellect or mistake our intellect to be God's besides Allah. All right. So remember, y'all, don't chip and dip me today. The information here at the bottom is where you can make your donation on Cash App. Remember, we're giving flow, and we are encouraging ourselves to stay in the flow. So when we receive something, we give. We're always in flow mode. We're never in taker's mode. We're always allowing ourselves to flow. When we give information, we get information. When we need something, we give. We're always working and working and working to create that flow. Never take information from somebody and act like a dog with a bone and go over in the corner like you stole something. Somebody gives you something. If they give you a smile, give it back. If they give you the greetings, give them back. A person says, Assalamu alaikum, you say, Wa alaikum salam. A person says, peace be unto you. You say, peace be unto you also. Person says, Ramadan Mubarak, you say, Ramadan Kareem. So you want to always give and then make sure that that flow is how your life is operating. Don't get money, go hide it, act like you ain't got none. Flow with it. I'm not saying give away all your money, but if somebody gives you something and maybe you don't want to give money, maybe you just want to pray. Maybe you want to give money, but I'm encouraging you, keep the flow of blessings going in your life. And remember to remain grateful. So blessed Ramadan to all of you all. It's just about time for us over here to have something to drink and get a meal. So I'm going to let you all go and let you get off of here. Please share the show with others. I know that a lot of people look at the shows. I was looking at the numbers and the analytics, and I was really blown away. You guys must really be sharing, and so I really appreciate it. And join the Sajdah Circle of Winners. Text Do For Self to 855-574-9099. And tune in on Saturday to the Sajdah Saturday morning coffee talk, where we talk about life, love, and business. And make sure you like and subscribe to this page, because this is where you can binge on past episodes of all the shows. And please be sure, please make sure you support the renovation and restoration of the former home of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Get your commemorative Elijah coin today. They're going to go out, and you're going to need that registration number on the back of it to access some of this cool stuff we're putting together that I'm really excited to show you all. So, all right, I see y'all in the chat. Thank you so much, and may Allah bless you with a wonderful fast. If this is Lent for you, may God bless you. Passover, all these things, all these great religions have had all these great, beautiful celebrations happening at one time. And it's made for such a really beautiful environment during this Ramadan. this year. So, all right. So peace and blessings, family. And inshallah, I'll see you all soon. And thank you again. And don't chip and dip me.